How's it going? Once again, this is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, coming to you from the art studio with my Starbucks. A little hot still. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about this, okay? What is the best time to talk about you and your artwork? I know people have asked me, how do I do it? How do I do this with marketing? What is the best time? How or what can I say? And at what time? Like, do I talk about it at night? Do I talk about it only when I'm at certain places in the galleries? Should I talk about it in front of friends? Should I talk about it in front of, what is the best time? What is that real time? Well, guys, you know what? This is off completely. When you're asking yourself what is the best time or what are the best conditions, right, to talk about me and my artwork, you're really saying I don't believe in myself and I don't believe in my artwork, and because I don't, I'm trying to avoid sounding like I do. Oh, deep, huh? I don't believe in what I do, so I'm trying to avoid sounding like I do believe in my artwork, like I'm loco, like people are gonna be like, judge me, right? And so what's the best, time so that I don't look, desperate? Like I don't look like I actually believe in. Guys, it's all the time. Every single time. 24/7. Every minute of those 24 hours. Every minute. Now, this doesn't mean that you're awake, taking coffee all day, talking about it. No. But it means that you write an article. You go to sleep, the article's still there. The article's still talking about you. You make one of these videos. You go to sleep, that video's still talking about you, right? You create content, right? Through channels, and you also do it physically. You also go and speak about it in front of people. Why? Because you believe it. In front of anyone, church groups, whatever. I don't like to mix work with personal life. You ain't mixing work with personal life. This is not work. If it was work, you'd be getting a paycheck. Guys, being an artist is not work. You don't have a job. Oh, I don't like to mix my job with my personal life or my blah blah blah. You're off. You shouldn't be doing this thing. You shouldn't be doing this deal. It's still hot. I'm sorry, guys, but being an artist is not who gets a paycheck from being an artist unless you're an illustrator or a portrait photographer. But you ain't getting a paycheck if you're like some abstract expressionist, or whatever, painter or abstract photographer. No one's giving you a paycheck unless you're like an illustrator for Disney or something like that, and then you probably get a paycheck. Probably, I don't know. So. Unless you're an intern or whatever, I don't know. But you would get a paycheck if you had a job, and people don't hire artists. At least 99% of the people out there don't hire artists for their artistic skills. They hire artists, but they're called baristas. So, guys, it doesn't work that way, okay? If you believe in what you do, if you are dead set about your vision, your career, your ideas, your thing, you're like, I am this artist and I'm going to get this shit done regardless of. I'm going to go create the best possible art that I can create. I'm going to go talk to as many people as I can about what I do. Why? Because I believe it. If you have the cure of, I know this is cliche, but if you have the cure of cancer, the cure of a bad illness, all illnesses are bad, I guess, but one of those mean ones, right? Wouldn't you talk to everybody you knew about it? You try to help everybody. You try to pass on the message. Why is your artwork? And I'm not talking about from an unrealistic or a egocentric, right? Because then something like that would help a lot of people. So does your artwork. You just don't believe in it. That's the problem. You don't believe in it. And I didn't believe in my artwork either. I still have problems believing in my artwork. It's not as much anymore. That's why I say I don't believe it, because it's not as much anymore, but it used to be a lot. It used to be very heavy where I didn't believe in my work. I was like, yeah, but And it still revisits me, and I have to handle that. I still have those days where I'm like, what the hell am I even doing? What the hell is that? That looks horrible, blah, blah, blah. I have those days. But I learned to get out of it, right? Where before, I had days where we're happy, and we're like, man, I believe in my stuff. But 90% of the time, I didn't. You see what I mean? Now, 90% of the time, I believe in my stuff, and I have those days, right? They sip in there because I'm not. Again, watch my other videos. I'm not performing at a high performance level, where I maintain my attitude clean, right? Because I'm performing at this level, my attitude that I don't have time to think, right? Because if you have time to think, now you have time to be negative, right? All thinkers, like, I'm not talking about like as a profession. I'm talking about like just bullshit, just thinking bullshit, like, oh man, I don't know, I don't really have time. Oh man, why did I even do that? And you start going on the negative route, right? You start going on a downhill of negativity because you have time to think, right? You don't want to give yourself time to think. You either do or you don't do, but you don't think, because if you think, you lose. I've talked about this a lot, guys, a lot. And a lot of people think I'm crazy for talking about this. One day, some of you are gonna thank me. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe 10 years from now, they'll be like, "Man, that dude was talking about, dude, just do things or don't, but don't think about them, because now you're playing limbo. You're stuck in limbo." So here it is. Okay, again, what is the best time to talk about you and your artwork? All time is the best time. Every time, every minute of the 24 hours. You or something recorded by you, or your images, or anything and everything, anytime and all time. Why so much, guys? Because it's a fucking noisy world, guys. You guys don't see that. It's too noisy. We're stuck with the Kardashians. We're hit with news. We're hit with all kinds of things. So everybody's on their phone now, right? Not everybody's on TV. That's old. That's lost. Everybody's on their phone. You're walking and oh yeah, I know it's a horrible thing. Horrible or not horrible, it's reality. Everybody's on their phone, right? It's just the way it is. I'm sure they said that when people didn't stop listening to the radio, or when people didn't stop watching TV, as we all know it, right? Now everybody is on their phone. It's switched. The attention has switched, right? Most of it to the phone. So if you're on your phone, what's happening on the phone? You get bombarded. Facebook, this, Instagram, you get bombarded. So I'm not telling you to add to the noise to bombard more people. I'm not telling you that, because I know some people feel like guilty about that in the world. I'm talking about, dude, everybody is trying to take attention from each other, right? Learn how to do it by giving, right? By giving good content. When you share an artwork, you're not spamming anyone. Unless you're like showing the same art and you're like, look at it to the same person, right? Then you're probably spamming, most likely. You can't do the same thing, right? Because then it's this desperate spam, and people hate that. We all do, Sometimes people send me the same photograph over and over, like, look at it. I'm like, I don't want to anymore. So, but when you share your artwork, right, you're making someone smile. You're like, they just watch some horrible news, and then they see your beautiful portrait of a horse or a puppy that you painted, or some flowers, and they're like, yeah, this is cool. It creates space in the mind. Anyways, I know it's a bit more esoteric, but it creates space. It creates a little silence, a little moment of silence, serenity, right? And that's a gift that you have as an artist, that you do that. You give people a gap of a breathing moment. Because the world is heavy, because the world relies about thinking, and art is not about thinking. Art is the opposite. Art has nothing to do with thinking. If you think art has to do with thinking, you're very confused. And it doesn't matter if it's surrealist art or expressionist or whatever. Art is not about thinking. Art is about looking and awesome. And that's it. Why do I say this? Trust me, I know. I'll leave you guys with that. The name is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist. Take care. Later.